Hi, this is Tim with Buckeye Home Solutions. Thanks for taking the time to watch a short presentation on our rent-to-sell program. Unfortunately, right now in this current market that we're in, there are a lot of homeowners out there who are having a difficult time selling their home. So what we have here at Buckeye Home Solutions is a possible solution for you, and that solution is our rent-to-sell program. You see, we have multiple buyers who have come to us who have just fallen a little bit short for qualifying for a mortgage for whatever reason, whether their credit score is a little bit too low, maybe they had some tax liens or some gap in employment history, or maybe they're even self-employed, and some of them even have bankruptcy or a foreclosure on their credit over the last couple of years, and they just wanted a second chance to get started again and have home ownership. And we are allowing them with our rent-to-sell program to do just that. These are good families who want to get back on track. And through this program, we've helped a lot of families. And the great news for you is that you can sell your house for top dollar without paying any real estate commissions as a lease purchase or a rent-to-own. The fact is that on average, homeowners right now are having to take at least a 10% discount on their asking price in order to sell their home in today's market. And then on top of that, if you're listed with a realtor, you're having to pay a 6% real estate commission on top of that. So, if you have to have a lot of equity in your home right now to basically maybe even break even or make a little bit of money when you sell your home, otherwise you're going to have to come to the closing table with money, with cash to actually sell your home. So with our rent-to-sell program, again, you get top dollar, full asking price without paying any real estate commission, which is huge. A little bit about us. We're Buckeye Home Solutions, LLC. My wife Penny and I started this company back in 2005. We've started off renovating bank-owned properties and selling them for a profit. And then we went into building a rental portfolio, which we still have today. And then within the last years, we've started helping families because we saw a great need for people trying to sell their homes and having a hard time doing that in these current market conditions. And then we also saw a lot of buyers who were really trying to get financed and had good jobs and just maybe a credit glitch or two, and they couldn't get financed. So they were still looking for home ownership. And we've developed this rent-to-sell program to help both the sellers and the buyers and bring them together and make it a win-win for everyone. So the question is, are you a good fit for our rent-to-sell program? Well, there's a few questions you have to ask yourself to see if you are a good fit. Number one, is your house vacant? If it is, it could be a great fit for you in our rent-to-sell program. But if it's not vacant, that's okay too. If you've been trying to sell your house through the traditional real estate agent or for sale by owner and it's just not working, this might be a solution. Maybe you have little or no equity, or maybe you're just starting to look at other options like renting or owner financing due to the market conditions. And if your house is if it's worth between $100,000 and $400,000, and if you've answered yes to any of these questions, then you could be a great fit for our rent-to-sell program, and we might be able to help you. So, what is a lease purchase? Well, very simply, a lease purchase is someone who wants to lease your home, but eventually would like to buy that home. So you give them a lease agreement, and then you give them a certain amount of time and a set price to purchase that property from you. That's called an option. And these tenant buyers may not have perfect credit, like I discussed earlier. They might have a credit glitch. But the good news is we have a credit repair company that they can work with over the next 12 to 36 months to repair their credit and get qualified for a mortgage. And the paperwork is really easy. There's only two documents that you have to sign. That's a lease agreement and an option contract. And that discloses all the terms of the contracts, what their payment will be monthly, and then how long of a term they have to purchase that home. And usually, like I said, it's 1 to 3 years. That's to give them enough time to repair their credit and get qualified for that mortgage. A few advantages of the lease purchase program. Well, number one, it works. And it's helping families, both sellers and buyers, and it's a win-win for everyone. You have a lot of options. You get full asking price, as I mentioned earlier, no real estate commissions. You also get above market rents. on-time rent payments, and there's no maintenance or repairs because the tenant buyer is responsible for all of the maintenance and repairs on that home. And the great news is it doesn't cost you a thing. It costs you absolutely nothing because we get you your full asking price, and then we tack on our fee on top of that, and the tenant buyer is the one that pays us a fee for finding them that great home to live in. And you can also still advertise the home yourself. So, if you find somebody through your advertising, there's no obligation to us. You can go ahead and move forward with that buyer or a rent-owned buyer yourself. But we are very confident that with our marketing plan and with our buyers list in place, that we will be able to get you a qualified tenant buyer very quickly. A few other benefits to our program: instant debt relief. A lot of homeowners out there right now have 2 mortgage payments. They may have to relocate for a job situation or something that matter. And this gives you instant debt relief because that tenant buyer moves in very quickly and takes over that payment and starts making payments right away and covers all expenses, including property taxes and insurance. No more landlord hassles. You don't have to worry about getting a phone call at midnight to come over and fix a leaky toilet. Tenant buyer is responsible for that, and they take care of that problem. Any maintenance and repairs. Tenants have a home ownership mentality, which is a huge difference from a renter's mentality. That's the reason they take pride in ownership. They take great care of the property because they treat it like it's their own. There's also a very strong demand for these buyers. Right now, there's tons of buyers that have, with the tight credit restrictions out there right now, currently with the lenders and banks, there's a lot of buyers that have a good sizable down payment and good employment and good jobs, monthly income, but they just can't get qualified yet for a mortgage. And there's also a very low supply of these houses available because a lot of homeowners just don't know that this is a solution maybe to their problem. So, tenants also work with a mortgage broker, like I had mentioned before, or our credit repair company that we work with to repair their credit. And we also offer consulting. So if you don't want us to do all the work for you, even though it doesn't cost you anything, we can go ahead and have a consulting agreement with you, and where we'll show you the paperwork and some of the marketing that we do, and you can go and do it on your own for a consulting fee, and we'll guide you through that process. The other good news is that you retain the great benefits of home ownership because you are still entitled to that property. You are still the homeowner. You retain those tax benefits, which is a great plus. We also already have a ton of buyers, qualified families that are looking for homes in your neighborhood. So chances are we can really get a qualified buyer in there very quickly once we get started working with you. And the bottom line is we can save you money and sell your home much, much faster. Some frequently asked questions that we get: what type of agreement do you use? Well, we use a lease agreement and a option contract, which I had mentioned before. So the lease agreement tells you what the monthly rent is, and it has some of the rules as far as the lease goes, and then the option contract explains how long of a term, usually like I said 3 years is the average that we do on the option to purchase that property for a set amount or set purchase price, which would be your full asking price. And how do we get paid? Well, we get paid again from the tenant buyer paying us a fee on top of your asking price as their down payment. And do you have a marketing plan? Well, we have a great marketing plan. It's a very effective, efficient marketing plan, and we're very confident in that plan because we use a lot of internet marketing as well as some signage and classified newspaper ads as well as direct mail campaigns. So combination of those, but our main focus and what we've become really good at is our online marketing. And I know this sounds too good to be true, but I can tell you folks, this is for real. We've helped a lot of families solve the real estate related problems using this rent to sell program. So, if you're ready to get started, all you have to do is 3 easy steps. Basically, you complete our property info form, which if you click on the Get Started Now button, which should be showing up on your screen right about now, then you would go ahead and fill that out for us, and that will be electronically sent to us via email, and then we will go ahead and take that information and get you an option agreement, which we will email or fax to you. And then all you have to do is sign and email or fax the option agreement back to us, and we'll go ahead and get started right away marketing your property and trying to get one of our qualified tenant buyers into your home as soon as possible. So I want to thank you again for taking the time to watch this short presentation. My name is Tim Dobronsky. I'm with Buckeye Home Solutions. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call at 440-678-7001. And be sure to check out our website if you haven't already at buckeyehomesolutions.com. There's a ton of great information there, some frequently asked questions, and a lot of great information about our rent-to-sell program there. So again, I thank you. I look forward to working with you. Have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.